Hello, Zen of Cars fans, and welcome to the Zen of Cars podcast. My name is Zhenya Tilly. You join me in the new Zen of Cars studio, which is why it's been so long since I have done one of these. I've been moving, life's been kind of weird, but now things have settled down now, and now I can get back to properly podcasting, which is what I want to do. And I must say, we have quite a lot to talk about. We're going to start off this week's podcast with one of the biggest pieces of news ever is, since now and last, the new Integra has been announced. A 2022 Acura Integra is finally coming, which is fantastic. Few details have been released about it. We know it's going to be a 5-door liftback, perfectly fine with me. It's more than likely going to be based on the current Civic and upcoming Civic Type R. And this week, we got a reveal that it is going to have a 6-speed manual transmission. More than likely from the Type R. It looks like it's got the Type R shift knob, so that's where it's more than likely coming from. Now, we have some very, very interesting details about this car. Even with the little snippets of information, it's going to be styled like the modern Acura models, like the TLX and the RDX and the MDX and the RL. So it's going to be in line with those models. And we got a snippet of what the shift gate looks like. It looks like you've got your standard 6-speed shifter, so imagine a Type R shifter, but there's a grab handle to the right of the shifter. That's a very neat detail. That's not really something that many of these cars have had. Another important detail, there is not a manual handbrake. It is an electronic parking brake. You can see the parking brake lever in the photo I have right here. It's kind of blurry. It's more focused on the shifter. But you see there's a traction control off button. An individual mode is what it looks like up top, and a driving mode selector on the center console. It is not on the dash like it has been on other Acura models with that giant dial that looks like a volume knob. So that's an important detail to point out. So, what does this all mean for the Integra? Well, it means that they are paying attention to, one, what Acura customers want, and they're also sending a message to enthusiasts to say, hey, we are listening to you. We understand there's a lot behind this car, and we want you to buy it. Because if you think about it, the people who were buying the Integras in the early 2000s and the late 90s are people like me, car enthusiasts who wanted a fun, fast, cheap car that they could tune endlessly and would be endlessly reliable. Now, all those people who were doing that back in the 2000s and the 90s and even the late 2010s, they're now old enough and maybe financially stable enough to buy one of these cars brand new, and that's a smart play on their part. Now, there's a lot riding on this car. The whole world is watching. I'd say it's the COVID-19 vaccine of automotive vehicles, because this thing is a big deal. I'm an Integra owner myself. I personally know the deal of this. I own an Integra. It's a 1990 RS 5-speed, 5-door, base, or 4-door, base model, and it's the most fun car I've ever driven. It's tight, it's fun, it's engaging, the engine note is awesome, it feels refined, it feels engaging, fantastic car. And that's because it has some very crucial details. Every Integra, minus the RSX, which I don't think counts, but whatever, every Integra has gotten double wishbone front suspension, every Integra has gotten a manual gearbox, every Integra has gotten 4-wheel disc brakes, and independent suspension, front and rear, and a dual overhead cam engine, at least in the later models, I believe. Those are all crucial details. So the current Integra, the new one, is going to have to follow a lot of those principles, particularly the double wishbone front suspension. And I'm thinking they're just going to shrink the setup from the TLX, which is fine by me because I've heard the TLX setup is fantastic. So that's going to give it a leg up to your standard Type Rs and your Civic SIs and your standard Civic, because it's going to make that driving experience a lot more engaging, because what a double wishbone suspension does is it separates the steering from the suspension. When you have a normal strut tower, it does the job of steering and suspending the car. When you separate the coil spring from the steering components, the steering knuckle, with a double wishbone suspension, it separates the steering from the suspension, making it more dynamic, a tighter steering, And it means when you go over bumps, the wheel isn't going to shake as much. You're going to have a much more planted feel on the road, and I certainly feel this in my very own car. Now, I'm expecting this car to have either the Type R powertrain and the Type S, probably going to be all-wheel drive. I doubt it'll be a hybrid, especially since it's a manual. And I don't think Honda's going to play many risks, to be honest. And that's fine. But what I would like, and I'm a very, very tiny majority of the very, very tiny majority of people who like the Integra, who would potentially buy one new, is this. I would like a completely bare bones base car. You know, just literally just a Civic manual with double wishbone front suspension. That's the big difference. You drive a modern Civic, it's not as sharp as any Integra because it never got double wishbone front suspension. That suspension, it just sells the car. You don't realize it until you drive it. It just sells the car. I fell in love with my Integra after I bought it, even though I thought, hey, this thing's just going to be a nice little commuter car. And then I fell in love with it because of the way it drives. And the way it drives is fantastic, and no Civic has driven that good, ever. So this thing's got a lot riding on it. I'm personally very excited for it. It's obviously going to be the replacement for the ILX. It'll probably be a little bit bigger. It'll be a little bit longer, maybe a little bit lower and wider just because of the nameplate's sake and Acura trying to rebrand for enthusiasts. The Type S model, again, will probably have the Civic Type R powertrain, maybe a detuned version of that. I highly doubt we're going to see a Type R badge on that car. I just don't see it. They're going to sell Type S because Type S is Acura's brand in the United States, and they are just going to roll with that. It's probably going to produce 250 horsepower, be all-wheel drive to be competitive, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Regardless of what it is, it's going to be a lot of fun. It may not feel as light as a car like mine, light and chuckable, but that's okay. You know, I'm not necessarily the target market, which is okay. But if they sold a base model with all the awesome performance add-ons, the manual, the suspension, the good brakes, all that stuff, it would be still a fantastic car. Just hopefully that engine, it sounds good when you rev it out, and it's got a good revvy engine that revs between 7 to 9,000 RPM. That's what I'm hoping for. It's got to be that benchmark. The minimum is 7. My car is 7. So it's got to meet that benchmark. It's got to be that typical Honda revvy engine. So that's a lot what we're looking for. Price-wise, you're going to have to expect that this thing's going to cost at least $32,000. I don't see them selling it for less than 30. They're probably going to take a loss on this car. It's not going to be a volume model because people are really going to be buying it as a commuter. And small luxury cars are not really popular in the United States. They're growing in popularity, but it's not Europe. We don't need something that small. There's really a small demographic of people who want a car that small. But it's good on Acura for keeping the Integra. Really do appreciate that they're doing this, and I really look forward to the car. And maybe someday, you never know, they might give us a press model that's in the same spec as my car, champagne with a brown interior. Also on an interior note, it does look like there will be a two-tone interior. I can see a two-tone leather seat with a tan insert and black outer leather pads. So those are important details to think about with the Integra. Very excited for this car. I think it's going to be a fantastic driver's car. And something really to look forward to. Now we're going to move on to what is another fantastic enthusiast car, and that is the Subaru WRX. The new generation WRX has been unveiled. It's quite a controversial car. I'm not personally a fan of it, and it has to come down to the headlights. And, you know, I'm good with the ride height. I'm good with the body cladding. I always think that more people should be rallying them than do. A lot of people have taken that car and turned it into a track day car, and that's not really where that car's from. So I really do respect the fact that they're trying to embrace the ralliness of it. The problem with that, of course, is good luck finding customers that are going to do that, because a lot of the customers who are in the WRX market are really buying it just for the badge, unfortunately. Well, there is something else to come from it. There is a WRX Wagon now, and it is a true WRX Wagon. It's not a Lavorg. I did not like that car. That car was terrible, I think. Not a true WRX as much as people wanted it to be. This is a true from Subaru WRX Wagon, and it's being sold in the Australian market. And it looks like an Outback, minus the body cladding. It kind of looks more base, generic model, and I guess that's okay for someone who wants something like that, but doesn't want it to scream, hey, I have a WRX. That's what the STI is for. Um, it definitely just looks like a generic Subaru wagon, which is okay. The wheels are a little bit small, and the exterior styling is mostly monochromatic, so all the same color. And I think that addresses some of the big issues that people have with the new WRX's styling is all the body cladding. I'm a fan of it, but I'm not a typical Subaru WRX guy. I'm more of a Honda guy myself, as you guys know. So, in that sense, I have no problem with the body cladding, but I know a lot of people do. So, having a WRX wagon that is all monochromatic, it does look pretty good, and I think addresses a lot of the styling issues. Again, doesn't address the styling issues I have, which are the headlights. I don't like them at all. And of course, we'll go on beyond the whole deal of it doesn't look like the concept. So, now the question is, to address Subaru's fans, should Subaru make this WRX wagon a thing in the United States? Should it be a vehicle that is sold over here? I think it should. I think they missed the market. I'm all for hot sedans. I own an Integra. I love having a sedan. I'm all for hot sedans. I love the new Hyundai Elantra N they're putting out. I think that's a fantastic car, but I think there's still a market for people who want a hot wagon and hot hatchback. And that's where the WRX wagon can be a nice form-fitting substitute, because what else is there? You got the Honda Civic Type R hatchback, but that thing is absurd, and they won't sell us a D-winged version of it in the United States, which is kind of what a lot of Civic Type R buyers really want. And this WRX looks pretty normal. And I guess it's a bit of a sleeper. You're only really going to see the hood scoop, and even if you're not a car person, you're not really going to notice that it's a WRX. So it's a nice little sleeper, and it's nice and hidden and subdued. So that's the tough thing. With the Focus RS gone, the Civic Type R way too outrageous. There really isn't a whole lot of other options. There's the new Elantra N, but there aren't really any other hot hatchbacks aside from what Hyundai's doing with the Veloster N, but that's not the most practical thing in the world because that's a 3-door hatchback. It's kind of weird. So, really, this would be it. I think they should do it. I think it's finally time they bring the WRX wagon back. It's got a WRX badge on it. It's not a Lavorg. It's got a real WRX badge on it, so they're taking it seriously. So I say maybe sell us the Aussie spec style in a US spec format. And I think it would sell. I think Subaru really needs to talk to its enthusiasts and know what they really want in the United States, because we play a big role. So there you go. WRX wagon was unveiled. Interesting design, I say. Maybe solves a lot of the issues that people have, with the standard WRX. I will say the best angle of this car has to be from the back. Those taillights look fantastic. They just look way better than they do on the sedan. They look sharp. They look clean. They're sort of C-shaped. Got a nice striking line on the top. They're not that full width LED light bar, which is nice. They look really good. So I think the rear end is the best angle of this car. It's got nice chrome tailpipes. They're real. They look fantastic. And I think it's a nice, smart-looking rear end. The front end still has a problem that I can't fix, but that is okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't plan on buying one anytime. I doubt it's going to be here. I highly doubt it. It's very likely that they're not going to sell a WRX wagon. It'd be cool, but it's unlikely. Anyway, regarding the standard WRX, I believe the prices have not been announced for the standard WRX, but they're probably going to be around $30,000. And I believe it is due out on sale pretty soon, within the next few months here. Yeah, we still don't have prices, but it should be out maybe around February, I believe. So, now, we're going to talk about the longest story, and what I would say is our main story, and that is that Forza Horizon 5 is coming out in less than a month. That is a big deal, especially for this channel, because this channel particularly surrounds itself around Forza content more than anything else. Forza is what I started this channel with. Forza is what I report on. Forza is what I play. It's really all I really want to do. And with Horizon 5, less than a month, less than 15 days, we're pretty close. We're like 20, no, we're actually just under 20 days away from a Forza Horizon 5 launch. That's really exciting. I'm excited. I have the premium edition of the game. I'm giving away a premium edition on November 1st. Excuse me. I'm giving away a premium edition on November 1st, and it will be given away on November 3rd, and there's a contest to see who gets it between then. So, follow my TikTok to make sure that you can enter in that, so I can message you if you have won and have a Steam account and have a Xbox or have an Xbox account ready. So we're looking at the car list right now, and I have to say, props to the team. Man, this is the most expansive, most extensive car list they have ever done. It's well over 500 cars now on day one, probably the highest car list on day one, and not even every car you see on the car list. So this is going out 10/17, and we still don't have every single car. October 15th was the latest one, and they added Volvo, Shelby, and the Lotus Evija. So we are already getting a lot of the cars that were added to Forza Horizon 4 through the festival playlist and other variants. So we're getting a lot of cars that were added through the festival playlist as day one cars you can go out and go buy. That's really exciting. Personally, I think that's fantastic. And that means we just have a fantastic variety of vehicles for people to go out and go buy and go play immediately, to work towards, to think about playing. That's really exciting. A lot of the JDM stuff is over, a lot of the American stuff is over, and this is a massive list. And they're still adding new stuff. We have the new Taycan, the new Valhalla, the McLaren GT, the Lotus Evija. Even some of the barn finds have been revealed through the Horizon promo photo vehicles. There's a GMC Jimmy, which is based off of the 1970 Chevy K5 Blazer. That's going to be more than likely a barn find in the game. That's really exciting. I love that body style Blazer. I think it's awesome. Last time we had a Blazer in the game was the K5 pre-runner Blazer from the Hoonigan team, and we haven't seen that thing since Horizon 3. So seeing a nice stock 70 C10 or K5 Blazer is fantastic. So this is an awesome car list. I have to say, it's more than likely the best car list we've ever seen. And there are still cars on here that you are not going to see on this list that are going to be available through the game. Recently, they announced that the DeLorean is going to be a car in the game. That's awesome. It's so exciting to have the DeLorean back. And even if we just got the Forza Horizon 4 list and the DeLorean, I think people will be pretty excited. But the great thing is for people like me who've bought the Car Pass, a Car Pass is going to add 32 brand new vehicles for the next 32 weeks of the game, starting from week 1. And the exciting thing about that is these cars that are being revealed in the game are cars that previous games would have been in the Car Pass. The Taycan, the Evija, the McLaren GT, and the Valhalla. These are cars that should be in a Car Pass. So imagine if these cars are in the game now, what cars are going to be in the Car Pass? That's exciting. I mean, it opens the doors for a lot of things. Lamborghini SVJ, the new Porsche 911, GT3, it invites cars from old days, it invites like the 911 Carrera Sport Classic, we've already gotten the DeLorean, so there might be some older JDM stuff out there. It opens the door to add a lot of awesome vehicles. But there is one slight hope I have, and it may be too late to mention this. There's one slight hope I have, and that slight hope is this. I hope that the festival playlist cars that are being added through the festival playlist are cars from previous Forza games exclusively. And the new cars are being added exclusively through the Car Pass for the next 32 weeks. And these are new to franchise. Not new to game, not new to this era of Xbox, new to franchise. So never been seen in a Forza game before. That's what the Car Pass should be for, and it historically has been that for the most part, but there have been a couple of carryover cars from previous games that they've added, mainly from previous pre-Xbox One Forza titles, and that's okay. But now the door is open. Car Pass exclusively for first exclusive cars, new to Forza cars, new to franchise cars. Festival playlist can be for stuff that we did not get from Forza Horizon 4 as day one cars. And I get why they're doing that. They want you to keep playing the game. They want you to stay interested. They want you to stay excited and engaged. And there's a lot with this game. This is building up to be one of the single best Horizon games, let alone the single best open world racer out there. And we just got a snippet of what the festival playlist is going to sound like. The new music. Festival playlist is the wrong word there. But all the music that's going to be in the game, the new songs that are in the game are going to be fantastic. A lot of songs from modern pop culture. One of the songs that I really like, and this is one of my favorite songs, and it really blew me away, and even if this was just the only new song in the game, Intergalactic by Beastie Boys is a song that's going to be played in Forza Horizon 5. You can listen to it. I think it's on Horizon XS, if I'm correct. And there's still a lot of songs to be revealed. Nothing from Hospital Records has been revealed, and there's a couple other stations that need to be revealed so far. So there's a lot of music, and that's awesome because I think the last two games have been really lacking for music. Horizon 2 was okay. Horizon 1 was the best, hands down. Horizon 2 was okay. Horizon 3 was pretty lame, and Horizon 4 was just completely forgettable. Horizon 5 back on target, back on point with music. So they're doing a good job there. Music's going to be good. The amount of festivals we have, 5 festivals, those are going to be fantastic. We still have player houses. Those are going to be nice. Plenty of player houses to choose from. And just a big map. If you looked at the preview videos that many YouTube channels have done, I don't have an Xbox Series X, and nor was I invited to play, so that sucks, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. We have seen a lot of awesome content from a lot of these channels like Air 12, Eric Ship, 111, TV 9700, TVC 9700. A lot of these channels have revealed a lot of awesome information about the game, and if there's one tiny disappointment, it's that there isn't quite as much customization as I thought we were going to get because it was really hyped up, the customization with the GT2RS and the Gladiator with the doors. Like, a lot of the off-road customization, we really did not get a lot of that. And that's okay, but we got a lot of JDM customization through wide-body kits and exterior stuff and bumpers and splitters and stuff. We got some stuff from, I believe, AC Schnitzer, which is really exciting. AC Schnitzer, I believe, is new to Forza as well, so that's awesome that we got a lot of BMW parts from them. That's a really cool brand. If you look them up, they do a lot of custom Beamers and a couple other German cars, so that's really awesome. So this game's looking up to be one of the best. So that is something to look forward to. The Premium Edition launches on November 5th, with the Standard Editions releasing on November 9th, and Game Pass variants releasing on November 9th as well. So that is your breakdown of Forza Horizon 5. It's going to be an awesome game. I was skeptical. I was a little bit bummed out it's not going to be in Japan, but there are a lot of things here that give us a lot of hints, give us a lot of details, give us a lot of nods to JDM culture and Japanese car culture that I think next game, I'd be mega disappointed if it wasn't in the next game. It's got to be in the next game. We're there. We're ready. We have all the cars. We have all the criteria. The map is expansive. It's massive. I just saw a video of a Ford Bronco going all the way to the top of the volcano, and that thing is high in the sky. Easily the highest, most vertical map by far, even rivaling Blizzard Mountain. And Blizzard Mountain was up there. I mean, that was easily the first place map. So this thing is up there, probably twice the size of Blizzard Mountain. So we've got the technology to do it. We've got everything is there. They're building up to it. They've gotten a lot of nods towards JDM manufacturers. I think it'll be about time. I see Forza Horizon 6 being the one that ends up in Japan. We'll be doing a video about talking about Forza Horizon 6. It should release around December, giving the game about a month to breathe and about a month to settle in. Speaking of the game, I plan on doing a Let's Play series. I also plan on Twitch streaming the game from day one. So that's November 5th. I plan on playing the game on November 5th and then playing it for a long time. Or November 4th for me, probably. And then playing it for a long time, all weekend. So that'll be nice. That'll be fun. So we'll be doing a lot with Forza Horizon 5. I've got my other partner with me in this team, Pacific. He'll be joining us as well. Plan on doing some videos with him. So there'll be a lot of Forza Horizon 4 content around. So far, there have not been any more announcements about Forza Horizon 5 other than the car list and the exciting cars that are going to be a part of it. There will be a deep dive into, I believe, the music is the next festival or Let's Go live stream that they're doing on Monday. Let me look into it right here. Let's Go live stream. Forza. Apparently I'm stuck around this. Let's Go Brandon trend. Oh, episode 10 is supposed to be releasing Monday the 18th. Apparently missed the 10th. Alright, episode 10, Playground announces the soundtrack and more. So it's going to be a deep dive in the soundtrack. So we're going to learn more songs that are going to be in the game. That's going to be exciting. I cannot wait to hear more of what the soundtrack is going to look like. I'm already really excited for it. So that's a lot to look forward to. So Forza Horizon 5, probably going to be the best game of the year when it comes to racing. And there are people who have their critics, and there are people who have their disappointment in not being in Japan. But trust me, even if it was in Japan this year, it would be such a huge disappointment. Japan has a lot riding on it. They know that. They're listening. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to see in 3 years a tweet from maybe even the big boss at Turn 10 with just a giant Japanese flag on Twitter, just to let you know, hey, we're listening, we hear you. Everyone wants Japan. They know we want Japan. They're going to do it right. They're not going to screw it up. And even if it means we have to wait a few games before we get there, they're making it ready. That volcano, that's a pre-test for Mount Fuji. All the wide-body kits, those are pre-tests for all the Japanese wide-body kits they're going to have access to in Horizon 6. The JDM cars we have is probably the biggest JDM car list in any Forza game. It's going to be even bigger in Horizon 6. And they're probably ready to bring in some of the old JDM stuff that we've been pleading. And everyone, every YouTube channel, every fan out there, the vast majority of Forza fans is talking about Japan. They're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. It's going to be important to them. So I know we're ways out, but I expect a 2023 announcement or a 2024 announcement for Forza Horizon 6 that's going to be in Japan. So I'm excited for that. But regardless, we will save the Forza Horizon 6 stuff for a little bit down the road. We have a lot to get through on Horizon 5, the game, the Let's Play, our many videos we'll be doing, and of course our Car of the Year content, which will start in November when we start obtaining all these cars. We have a pretty big list this year, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. So that is all I have for you today. The excitement of the Integra, a WRX Wagon, and Forza Horizon 6. Thank you for listening. Do subscribe. Do like the video. Do follow my other channels. I have Instagram. I have a TikTok. Do follow my TikTok if you want to be eligible for the giveaway. It will be a contest on November 1st, and it goes till November 3rd. So remember that. It is a giveaway for the premiere edition of Forza Horizon 5 that starts on November 1st, ends on November 3rd. Follow me on TikTok so I can add you back to message you if you have won and have a stream account and have a Microsoft account for me to be able to gift this to you. So anyway, that is all from me. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.